Morning, Patriots. Me again, Shannon Fox here, Devoted Patriots 2 channel. If you don't know, I do have a Rumble channel that I put a few videos on, one or two a week over on Rumble. It's the same channel as here, Devoted Patriots TOO, but it's all one word. If you don't know, go check it out and give me a follow over there if you would. If you do partake on the Rumble, you can say a little more over there and get away with a lot more over there, and can actually bring reports to you with videos that actually have words in it that you can't say here. You know what I'm talking about. Let me get into some news this morning for us, folks. Bring you a couple articles real quick. Um, there's this guy in Kentucky. He's a black Kentucky Senate candidate, and he's wearing a hangman's noose around his neck as part of his campaign run. I guess he's using it like a necktie, but not really. There was actually a video about it over here on the Gateway Pundit, but it has been taken down. This guy is calling Rand Paul a racist. This guy is running against Rand Paul for the particular Senate race over there. And this guy is just, he says that because Rand Paul didn't fight to federalize lynching as a federal hate crime, because he didn't push for that, which he did push for that, but he didn't like the way the bill was written. And so this guy is trying to use the race card in order to take Rand Paul out. Now, Rand Paul may be a lot of things, but I don't believe racist qualifies as one of the terms for him. Just my opinion. It says Kentucky's latest Democratic senator candidate to challenge Senator Rand Paul, Charles Booker, released a campaign video on Wednesday which featured him wearing a hangman's noose. The video was an apparent attempt to highlight Senator Rand Paul's opposition to a 2020 bill that would have made lynching a federal hate crime. It appears that Booker wants to utilize racially charged imaginary imagery to elicit a response during the 2022 midterms. So this guy's going to run on the fact that Rand Paul must be a racist. What is with these people? It may work for a few people with a chip on their shoulder, but for the most part, we know better. The video starts with a graphic warning and opens with a shot of a noose hanging from a tree. And like I said, they took it down. It was too controversial. But at any rate, that is a heck of a way to be running commercials with a hangman's noose around your neck. I mean, they getting out there. It kind of reminds me of that NASCAR thing. A guy that found the noose in his stall and come to find out, oh, it was just a rope. One of those deals. He says, Booker says, the pain of our past persists to this day. In Kentucky, like many other states throughout the South, lynching was a tool of terror, and it was used to kill my people. It was used to kill my ancestors, Booker says, with a noose around his neck. Now in a historic victory for our Commonwealth, I have to become the first black Kentuckian to receive the Democratic nomination for the U.S. Senate. My opponent, the candidate continues, the very person who compared expanding health care to slavery, a person who said, I remember when Rand Paul said that, and he just took that out of context. He didn't say the whole full line, of course. The person who he said it would have opposed, the person who said he would have opposed the Civil Rights Act, I don't know if he said that or not, the person who single-handedly blocked the Anti-Lynching Act from being a federal law. Booker criticism of Paul follows the event in 2020 when Paul held up a bill to make lynching a federal crime, saying he wanted to see more discussion to make the language the best it could be for the bill. It appears that racism may be the centerpiece for the ongoing election cycle for the Senate seat in Kentucky. And anywhere else, they think they can get away with that crap. I don't see that flying too well. I believe Rand Paul will keep his position, and I believe this guy is just another idiot that is trying to play the race card to get a job. Just my opinion, but that's what it's looking like. Going there with that crap. What's wrong with him? You know, we got enough racial division in this country without candidates trying to use it as a tool. That's just the saddest part of the whole situation. No respect for that guy. And it has nothing to do with his skin color. Now, we have a lot of optics going on right now instead of the truth. We've got, it looks like they're trying to paint the cops to be the bad guys every chance they get. Matter of fact, major media, educators, and influencers perpetuate false claims that Kansas City police shot an unarmed black woman. You know, every time somebody gets shot, especially somebody with melanated skin, the first thing that comes out of the media's mouth is, they shot an unarmed black person. Well, this is just another prime example of them doing hit pieces against the police before they did their due diligence, their homework, their investigative reporting, or they just plain lying and denying. I don't know which, but at any rate, woman's got a gun in her hand right there. You see that, folks? That's that unarmed woman right there. That's the kind of crap that goes on a lot of these media stations. They tend to promote racism every chance they get, and they promote division, and they promote that the cops are bad, and that everybody that gets shot must be a victim. They have got it all messed up, but truth of the matter is, America knows better. They're lying to themselves, and they're lying to anybody that'll believe it. This is good news. Dr. Fauci says he's likely stepping down in 2024. He may step down in 2022. Who really knows? He knows he's going to be on the chopping block. He knows he's got people like Rand Paul and Jim Jordan that want to put him in front of a committee hearing and ask him why he lied so much. So I believe he will be stepping down. There's a little video about it, but he is also trying to say that we may need a booster for the rest of our lives. He needs to step down. That's all I can say about that. Now, J.P. Morgan CEO says a hurricane is coming, and it's coming for the U.S. Brace yourself. He's telling the truth. He knows what he's talking about. Sad part about this whole situation is all this could have been avoided. And I'm going to go ahead and call it out now. Most hurricanes get a name before they actually hit land. They get a name as soon as they find out they're out there swirling in the ocean, going to come towards land and cause a problem. I'm going to go ahead and call this oncoming hurricane, Hurricane Biden, for the record. I don't think it has a name yet, but if it's going to be a financial hurricane or any kind of hurricane, it's got to get a name. And considering who is to blame for all this mess, we're going to have to call this one Hurricane Biden, Economic Inflation Disaster, Master of Disaster. No doubt about it. That's about all I got for you folks. There's a couple more little things going on here. Johnny Depp was cleared of all charges, and his defamation trial went his way. It looks like he has won. The verdict is in favor of him, and it looks like he's going to be getting paid. It says 29 Republicans backing resolution to expunge Trump's second impeachment. Well, let's go ahead and read a little bit about that. That just popped up. It says 29 Republicans, one of whom is Elise Stefanik in the U.S. House of Conference Chairwoman, support a resolution to expunge the second impeachment of President Trump. The effort is being led by Markwayne Mullin, who also introduced a resolution to expunge Trump's first impeachment. The House GOP Chairwoman Elise Stefanik and roughly 28 other members of the Republican are backing a resolution to expunge the second impeachment of former President Trump. The effort first reported that the Daily Beast is being led by Oklahoma Representative Markwayne Mullin. It reported it would apply to Trump's 2021 impeachment, which occurred in the wake of the J6. Mullin previously introduced a similar measure on Trump's first impeachment, which centered on the accusation that Trump was withholding military aid from Ukraine in exchange for political salient favors. And we all know that was crap. Representative Mullin released a statement regarding the impeachment, saying it was rooted in personal politics, and there's no doubt about that. Fox reported that Democrats used their second impeachment resolution to once again weaponize the most grave and consequential powers of the House. Mullin said in a statement, "This was never about the Constitution. It was rooted in personal politics." For the antidote to the media bias, check out ProTrumpNews.com. Uh, thank you, Elise and Mark Wayne. It was a total hoax. I'm glad to see that we got people at least heading in the right direction. I think a lot of people are regretting the fact that Biden's much worse than Trump was. Whether you like Trump or not, he did things for this country while he was under attack from the left constantly. And he did so many things for the country that actually helped the country. This Joe Biden fella, he gets no opposition from nobody. He's covered 100% by the media. The media just covers up for him every time he gaffes, every time he makes up something, every time he has to walk something back. They are definitely playing on Team Democrat. And it was just the opposite with Trump. He was attacked every single day by somebody with some fake crap, some butthead reporter trying to throw some dirt on him. And now we can't even get most news stations to even admit that the economy is in the toilet, the border's still open, Biden's approval is failing. All these things, they would have been roasting Trump behind if any of this happened on his watch. But at any rate, it is what it is. But now we're finding out that government officials are finally starting to blame Biden for the inflationary surge that's hurting most Americans. And I think Biden is kind of turning into like a toe fungus. Nobody wants him. Nobody wants it. Everybody is just kind of turning their nose up at it. They know he's a death sentence when it comes to using him to prop yourself up as a candidate. Matter of fact, our economic outlook is so bad that the CBO annually, the economic outlook, squarely blames Biden for 2021's high inflation, and they blame the COVID bill as well as part of the problem, the overspending. The report notes that the stimulus check sent to Americans in 2021 significantly boosted demand, causing inflationary pressures, and I believe that. Free money is never free. The report also notes that Biden's COVID stimulus artificially slowed the recovery of the labor force participation. That's an absolute fact. And so they basically paid workers not to work. And now we have a situation where people don't want to go back to work. The continued lack of employees has strained supply chains, created an additional source of upward pressures on consumer prices as well. The CBO predicts inflation will continue into 2023. It notes that inflation may only be temporary